Welcome, Libra. My name is Leanne. This is Mystic Inspirations. I'm bringing you your monthly tarot forecast for the month of 16. While I'm shuffling, I would like to say a great big thank you to all of those of you who have subscribed, liked, shared, and of course commented. I love the comments. Please keep them coming. It's always nice to hear, a friendly word. It's nice to hear how the readings are resonating with you. For those of you who are just stopping in and who aren't a part of this channel as of yet, please know these are general readings and not everything will resonate with you. If that is the case, please take what does and let the rest fall away, and feel free to watch the video for your rising and or moon sign. That sometimes will complete a picture. Sometimes the messages will, sort of integrate, and sometimes they will be completely different. So please check that out. If you want a reading that is just for you, of course you can go to my website, mysticinspirations.com, and I can hook you up with that. Now, before we get started with the cards, I would like to say I have a few messages from Spirit from throwing the stones here. A lot came to me when I did this. First off, I had to move them over so you could see, but they were very much spanned out. But there is some linear things happening here. We have grounding energy. This is self. Okay, we have grounding energy, self, and spirit. Okay, that's directly in line. Okay, so that's a good thing. But we have healing energy over here. We have some past life, some karmic strings, some karmic ties that are coming up that's blocking the healing, or maybe that's a lesson coming up. Okay, so this is maybe emerging either something from the past or just somebody who has a karmic tie to you, or there's a lesson for you that is going to either block healing or be a part of the healing. Okay, and this also has to do with throat chakra, what you say, what you speak, healing old wounds from hurtful words. Okay, now we also have this line going here where we have your intuition and we have spirit, but then there's something sort of not quite right there too. This is a muddled up, everything's looking okay, but there's some issues that are sort of sick. There might be depression. There might be disbelief. Okay, because sometimes when you get messages, you think you overthink it, and so you're like, well, maybe that was just me making it up, and then you're not sure, and then maybe you say something and it's the wrong thing, and like I feel like all of these connections here are very substantial, and yet we also have, we've got spirit, sort of a sickness issue, the crown chakra, or excuse me, brow chakra, intuition, healing energy, grounding energy. All of this is surrounding this. Your throat chakra, it's surrounding self, and there's a block between the healing. Okay, so take that for what it's worth, Libra. This is kind of heavy, right? And I'm a Libra too, so I'm trying to pay attention while I relay these messages as I see them. But I'll just have to watch a video when I'm done, because I usually don't remember what I say. But in any case, please know that there's some healing that needs to happen with self that may be involving a karmic relationship. And intuitively you know this, but you're not really accepting it. Okay, you know it, you've spoken it, you felt it, but there's this guy. He looks kind of sick, right? That's why I chose this stone to represent something that's not right. Either side. Now you're mostly okay, right? But there's still some issue here, and again, this could be, spirit to knowing. This could be just that messages are getting muddled up. Okay, perhaps in your dream life, you're Spirit's sending a message through your dream life and you can't quite interpret it, right? And so your throat chakra here, what you speak about, what you say, what you want to write down and communicate, you can't because you remember bits and pieces, but you just don't know how to put it together. Okay, so I'm gonna scoot these over just a little bit more so I can um, get these cards dealt out for us. And I guess that's kind of how they were. They were they were all spread out over the table. But in any case, Libra, let's get to the cards. I would like you to know I'll be drawing 4 cards that will represent 1 week of the month, or each of the weeks of the month, rather. These energies that I'll be interpreting are energies. They aren't start and stop at the beginning, end at the end. These flow. Okay, I will pull a card that will be helping you. I'll pull a card that will hinder you, and a card that will challenge you. And of course, the underneath it all. Who doesn't like to peek at the bottom? So this is for Libra 14. Oh gosh. Okay, that has not happened. So we see we have the 4 of Swords. Let's see if she pops up again, okay? Let me just clear this. Sorry about that. Libra 14, what are the messages I need to know about and be aware of? Okay. Okay, so we've got 2 of Cups, 8 of Cups, Queen of Cups, and 6 of Pentacles. Wow, lots of emotions happening here. These are the cards representing the energy that we'll be experiencing throughout the month of August. On or about the first week, on or about second, third, fourth, you get it. Help coming to you, what hinder you, and your challenge for the month. Underneath it all, we have the 3 of Pentacles. Okay, so let's talk, Libra. 3 of Pentacles. This is doing what you love and getting paid for it. Okay, this is not just a financial endeavor. This could be an artist. This could be a writer, a blogger, a painter. This is staying very focused. This is having mixed the perfect alchemical solution to getting paid to do what you love. Like that's amazing. In this deck, I do sometimes feel like this is signing contracts, sort of double checking everything, dotting I's, crossing T's, making sure everything is in order the way it is supposed to be. So this is going to be threading through the month, Libra. This is what's going to be on the back of your mind. This is going to sort of couple up with the rest of the cards. So let's see what we've got. This is also finding stability in an otherwise unstable business. Okay, this is maybe doing work for a company. Let's for instance, let's say that you like to write. This could be, hey, your blog is really amazing, and guess what? We want you to blog for our company. We want you to be our advocate or our representative, and you're on the payroll, and you're like, sweet, I love doing that, and you get paid for it, and you get benefits, and you get vacation, and things are starting to look up. People start to recognize you. So, great card, Libra. This is what's threading through the month of August. And so you may be thinking about this, or this may be what is kind of going on in the background. You're expanding into this position of getting paid for doing what you love that most people don't necessarily get paid to do. Okay? So we're starting off the month with the 2 of Cups. Whoa, gosh, these cards are jumpy. 2 of Cups speaks to a beautiful, loving, emotionally supportive partnership. Okay, this can be referring to a love relationship, like a partnership, an intimate relationship. This could also be a partnership of absolute perfection in business, in family. Like maybe you found the perfect roommate, the perfect, whatever. But this, a lot of times, I'm feeling more, it's for a lot of you, um, this is a love card. This is the beginning of something that could really grow into a beautiful relationship. Okay. This can also, I hate to use the twin flame term, okay, because I don't know. There's just so many little terms people throw out there, but I do feel like having. Let me move these guys. Why did I set these in the middle of everything? Having said previously that we've got some healing that needs to take place, dealing with some karmic energy or a karmic happening or a karmic lesson, this also could be that this first week we're going to be dealing with a karmic relationship that needs to be healed. Okay? That to me makes a truckload of sense. Okay? And for some of you, you will be meeting this person who is, karmically supposed to be in your life. Beautiful card. Lovely card. Beautiful energy. Blessed by the heavens, all that. So then we move on to the second week of this, and Libra, we have the Eight of Cups. So this is walking away from unfulfilled promises, unfulfilled um, emotional support, things that no longer serve you. This is not even knowing where you're going, but you have to go because you know any place you go will be better than where you're at emotionally. Okay. Um, Interestingly enough, tonight the moon is a sliver, only it's a waxing moon, right? So the lit up part is on the other side. But um, this is walking away from all of these things, and I feel very strongly that this is that healing that needs to take place. Okay, this is recognizing, you hurt my heart, you promised me this, you lied about that. You took advantage of me. I gave you everything. My innocence was, blah blah blah. Whatever these emotional things are, you have to name them. You have to name them to empty them out so you can walk away. Okay, because you don't want to trudge all those along with you, right? This is also speaking to following your intuition. The moon is the only thing guiding this girl. The moon and the planets. Um, I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I'll say it probably 1,000 more times in readings. I am not an astrologer. Please find one of your favorites to find out what is going on with our planets, the aspects, the conjunctions, the squares, the trines. I am telling you, I know just enough to get in trouble with that sort of thing. So um, at some point, I do hope to learn more about that, in at least enough to sort of give a little bit of insight. But this is definitely this is following your intuition. This is being guided by the universal energy only. Okay, knowing that it's best for you to walk away from this situation, from this job that was not fulfilled, from this relationship that did not live up to its potential, from this, family that has done nothing but break your heart over and over and use and abuse you. Walk away from, you know, different situations, your neighbors that have, not had your best interest at heart. Whatever the situation is, you need to walk away. But honestly, because I'm reading for so many, I do try to keep it as many possibilities, but I really do think that this has to do with this karmic healing, um, with this karmic relationship that was probably in the past. And honestly, I feel like this is happening um, the first the first week of the month. Okay, you're digging deep and you're doing that healing. It's happening now. Okay, I am getting these videos out a few days into the month, so I feel like this is really this energy. By the second week, you're already you're out the door, right? You're not quite on the beach, but you're out the door. Okay, so Libra, what we have towards the middle of the month, we have the Queen of Cups. Hello, Libra. Queen of Cups speaks about using your intuition. The Queen of Cups energy is very nourishing in the realm of emotional support. This is also your dream state. Again, coming back to getting messages through your dreams, grounding through spirit. This is a very, she's scrying, looking, she's reading the cup. This always looks like a crystal ball to me. Okay, this is also the water sign, right? So I I don't always like to interpret these court cards as people, but if it was a people as a water sign, this would be um, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. So somebody who is very very intuitive, very loving, very emotional also. You might find, which by the middle of the month, you might find that you are more emotional, Libra. You're very cerebral, you're very intellectual, you're in your head, you're, analytical. You're not so much emotional, right? So by the middle of the month, you might find that not only are you becoming incredibly intuitive and receiving a lot of messages, um, but you might be crying at the drop of a hat, right? Like, why am I crying? I did that once before with daughters at a movie theater, and I watched a music video, and I was like, oh God, am I gonna cry? Um, so out of the blue, right? So, be aware you might be a little more mushy. Um, this also may indicate that by the middle of the month, you need some more emotional support, more than you're used to asking for. Okay, Libra, I know that you don't like to ask for help in any way, shape, or form, especially emotionally. If you are emotionally drained, which it looks like you could be, all these cups are empty. Okay, if you are emotionally drained from whatever situation, ask for help. Okay, this card, all cards have more positive and more difficult energies for each of them. And one of the difficult energies of the Queen of Cups would be depression, um, emotional outbursts, clinginess. So keep that in mind, Libra. This may happen to you, or you may be just around this energy, whether it's at work or at home or with your partner, maybe with your children, maybe with your parents, maybe with your siblings, or just friends, neighbors, coworkers. You never know. This emotional energy be coming up, and again. Let me put the disclaimer about the astrology and the lack of knowledge. I actually do know that around the 18th, I believe, of this month, there is a lunar. It's a nearly lunar eclipse. Okay, it's happening, but it's not being counted. Please find your favorite astrologer and get that explained. But anyway, there's some emotional stuff going on, right? Your moon sign actually is your sort of indicates where your emotions are at. So, by the middle of the month, you may just really be topsy turvy. Okay, and of course, depending on where Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio fall in your chart, where the moon falls in your chart, all of that has to do with this kind of thing. But just know that people are dealing with some pretty turbulent energies these days. So keep note of the fact that you need some extra emotional support, and you need to give some emotional support to those around you, okay? Especially mid-month. So by the end of the month, we have the Six of Pentacles. This is a card of discernment. This is giving, receiving. This is delving out where you can, but not at your own detriment. Okay. Um, in many other decks, this is actually depicted as somebody offering the coins to one person but not to the other. Okay, so what that means is, yes, you still have the coins to give, but you can't give them all away. Okay, so by the end of the month, you may be having to discern where you spend your money, where you spend your time, your energy, because Pentacles, that's earth. That's whatever keeps you grounded, right? Finances keep you grounded. We need it to live. Your career, your energy, your health, your home, your family. So, wherever it is that you're being asked to delve out, you need to discern how much of yourself can you give? Okay, how much of your money can you give? How much of your time can you give? How much of your knowledge will you give? Okay, whatever it is that keeps you who you are and grounded and stable and secure, how much can you give before it's a detriment to yourself? This is also a card of receiving. You may be receiving help financially from a friend, a family member, a coworker, a boss. You be on the receiving end, and it may be just enough at just the right time. Okay, so again, you may not be getting what you thought you were going to get or what you think you need, but it will be just enough of what that person can afford to give. Okay, so keep that in mind by the end of the month, Libra. So what's coming to you as a help, we have the Page of Swords. Now the Page of Swords is usually a messenger of truth. This is a younger person that is sometimes mouthy, um, but this is a quick moving energy. Pages are usually slower, um, although they do bring messages. This could be somebody younger than you. Again, I don't like to assign people when I'm doing general readings. But it could be, somebody younger than you that's kind of mouthy and sort of just speaks very quickly. No matter what it is, it's just sort of, that phrase diarrhea of the mouth where there's just no filter and just look at them like, oh my God, you said that? But this is also, again, that might be for one or two of you, but mostly this is coming as a help to you, a fresh way to look at things. This is a fresh idea. This is a new way of thinking, a new way of communicating. Perhaps some of you are starting to, figure out the internet, like myself. Um, I've said before, I'm not new to tarot, but I'm definitely new to posting up videos on YouTube. I think I've mastered Facebook, right? But some of this stuff is new, and so that's coming to help you. You're going to actually start to get a hang of communicating in a way that is more in line with what the younger folks do, right? Like, you want to FaceTime and Twitter and, go on Instagram. You can do all that, Snapchat and whatnot. So that's going to be a help to you. Okay, Libra? So embrace the fact that there's some new ways to communicate. You don't have to, do it old school. You don't have to, everything's quicker now. So I feel especially for those of you who like to write, again, this circles back to this Three of Pentacles kind of underlying everything. I feel like for those of you who like to write and who have ideas and can really articulate them well on paper, or those of you who like to draw, this type of communication can be very, very profitable. So embrace the newness, embrace the internet, embrace, the fax machine. Whatever it is that goes quickly that, a younger person would say, hey, why don't you, send a Snapchat to one of, mom's, you know, cousin, neighbor, sister, boss, they really get into that kind of thing. Snapchat a picture of what you drew or, one of the blogs that you wrote, whatever that is. A design that you had, furniture design or, remodeling houses, whatever that is. Embrace what this younger generation is doing and use it to your advantage because it will give you an advantage. Okay, I definitely see that. what would hinder your movement forward this month? We have the Empress. So um, this is our only major arcana card in the spread here, which it's kind of an odd card for a hindrance, but let me explain a little bit about the Empress. The Empress, everything she touches grows. It's growth, it's nurturing, it's support. The scenery is very cold and very drab and very winter-like, and she's very much harvesting. She's the giver of life. She is the creatrix. She is abundance. She is home. She is motherly. She is nurturing. So, in a way that this energy would hinder you is that, um, are you being overly motherly, overly nurturing? Are you squelching somebody else's growth? Okay, are you not allowing somebody else to sort of stand on their own? Another way that I could see this being a hindrance is that it may be your mother. It may be your mother. It may be a mother-like person in your world, right? Maybe you have a friend that's, 20 years older than you are, and although you're friends, she's kind of motherly. She is nurturing and loving, but she sort of maybe gives advice where it's not asked for or wanted. The Empress is also very grounded and very, very full of her material things. Okay, so this could be, while you are trying to sort of get into your intuition and do some healing, this motherly advice, this motherly person, or this motherly energy of, nurture, nurture, nurture. Well, I'm here to tell you, you might have nurtured yourself to death, okay? That's going to hinder you. You can't nurture everything back to life, okay? So just know that some of some of these relationships that are karmic lessons, there's only so much nurturing you can do before it's at your own detriment. Okay? There's only so much giving you can do before you are left with nothing. Okay? I understand. I want to give too. I want to, support animal shelters. I do want to support other countries. I do want to support those who are down on their luck. I do want to support family and friends, but I can't do that at the detriment of myself. Okay? So, again, looking at the stones here, all of these were very far out, almost like I don't know, like I kept visioning strings. Excuse me. And everything is surrounding the self. Okay? So, don't get rid of everything and leave yourself with nothing. Okay? The hindrance would be, just over nurturing to the point where you're drained. Okay? Don't pick all of your harvest before it's harvestable. Don't give life to something that doesn't need to be brought back to life. Some things do need to just be walked away from. Okay? And using your intuition to discern what that is a great way to go. Okay? Heal that intuition. You've got it. Write it down. This is a help coming to you. Write those dreams down. Look back every day at what happened in the dream from the day before, because normally after a day, unless it's pretty profound, you can't remember it. Um, but some of the details get lost, right? So read back a day, read back a two, a couple days, read back a week, and see what's going on. Your messages are there, because your challenge this month is the Page of Pentacles. Now, this Page of Pentacles speaks to, again, somebody younger, but not necessarily a person, right? Um, but as a challenge, this page is sort of that beautiful, healthy, young, fresh, grounded energy. Okay, this page knows that she's got this beautiful giant coin, and she knows she has to do something with it, and she knows she will make something grow from it. But in the meantime, she's taking time to smell the roses. She's very calm. She's very loving. She's very nurturing. She's very grounded. She's very willing to take the time that she knows it's going to take to make it into something more than what it is now. That is your challenge for the month, Libra. That is um, that is the challenge for me always, because the word patience is coming up, right? I feel like this page is so lovely and so patient and so healthy. She's eating healthy, she's green, she's recycling. Okay, this is a challenge. This is a challenge to do all of this you know good stuff. Okay, so the challenge, maybe you're not taking time to smell the roses. Maybe you're not nurturing yourself. Maybe you're not investing your money and your time and your energy in your home and your family the way you should. Okay, that's showing up as a challenge for you this month. So, perhaps as we run this back through, we've got, for those of you who are getting, a loving relationship, that's great, because you found this beautiful partner, and you have to walk away from something to fulfill, to get to this status, right? The marriage on the beach, right, with mom watching. You've got to walk away from something that isn't fulfilling you. But then we also have, the give and take card, which can also very much speak to, um, you know, this is this is the youngster version of these two, right? Um, this is sharing resources, okay? So you have to share resources. You have to compromise. Um, yeah. This is also a card of reproduction, pregnancies, motherhood. Okay, this is showing up as a hindrance. So what I really feel most is that not that children would be a hindrance, not that being a mother would be a hindrance, but what I'm feeling and sensing from this is that reproducing the same thing, expecting different results, okay? Um, the repetition, like you're producing the same argument, you're producing the same material, you're um, producing the same content, and it's wonderful, it's lovely, but you're not going to get a different result, okay? Um, because you need to do something new, okay? And in order to meet this challenge of oopsies, seeing life, seeing your values, your home, your finances, your family, seeing life from a younger perspective. Okay, don't hinder yourself by thinking, this is almost, the empress. Excuse me, the empress is, she's older, right? But she's still fertile. This is a hindering energy, um, because your challenge is this young, fertile energy. So it may just be challenging for you to find youth and to find beauty where maybe there's very little. Okay, you may be in a situation where there isn't too much to look at. Maybe all you do have is trees and goats. And I have to say, you can see this beautiful tree here and this lovely little goat. My neighbor has goats, and those little guys got out of her fence and into my yard. And they sure were by great myrtle tree, and they were having a heyday in the yard. I mean, it's just so incredible. Um, we had daughter had to round them up and scoot them back because they forgot how to get back to their own fence, to their own side of the fence. Apparently, there was a little hole, and they all sort of scooted through. But daughter had to sort of round them up. So, in some aspects, and that was today, the day that I'm recording this. So I have to say, many times I have found tarot to be have a little bit of a humor streak. They're kind of witty. These cardboard cards with pictures on it. So Libra, continue to do what you love. Continue to work hard. Continue to stay focused. Stay focused on what you're doing. Okay, the enlightenment is there. Keep pressing forward. Use those new ideas and new ways of doing things to your advantage. Okay, because communication is going to be key for you, and that's going to be a strong thing. Also, from the stones, communication was sort of out there in left field too. So, um, you know, that's coming to you. So use it. Okay, Libra, I hope this helps you navigate through the energies of August. I do know that this will not resonate for everyone, so please take what does and let the rest fall away. Watch your moon and rising sign for a more clear and full picture. And of course, if you'd like a private reading from me that is just for you, you can contact me through my website, mysticinspirations.com. And until I see you again, have a great month. Thanks, everyone.